Hello and welcome back to Solstice City. The title of this video will be something along the lines of, this track could change Gran Turismo 7. And well, that's technically a lie, as no one track can magically change the game. There is one track that I can think of that would definitely add a lot of potential to the game. And that track is Twin Ring Motegi. Well, it's actually now called Mobility Resort Motegi, but for the sake of this video, I will be referring to this track simply as Motegi. Motegi first appeared in Gran Turismo 4 with 2 variants unlocked in arcade mode from the start, and then 2 more to unlock in Gran Turismo mode. These 4 variants are the 4 track, the East course, the West course, and then the Super Speedway above the track. The Super Speedway would appear in Gran Turismo 2 and 3 simply called Super Speedway, using the same layout and length, but based in an inner city stadium instead, which I actually preferred. A Super Speedway in Gran Turismo 3 was the very first track I ever raced on in the Gran Turismo series, so for me it holds a very special place in my heart, but as Motegi's ring is the exact same, I'd be more than happy with the Motegi version. Now this isn't the first time I'm actually mentioning Motegi as a possible track to add to Gran Turismo 7. The second video on this channel, simply titled Gran Turismo 7 10 Tracks I'd Like to See Return, has Motegi, well, the Super Speedway, as its first entry. And I even say in the video that Motegi is the most likely track from my list to return. And that video was uploaded just before Gran Turismo 7 came out. And well, Motegi is still not in the game. Actually, no tracks from that list have been added. And then again, we only have 3 new additions and 1 returning track. So I would recommend going and watching that video, although I spoke with a really bad American accent for some weird reason, so the video is very cringy, and if I could replace the audio, I 100% would. But anyway, the question of this video is, how would Motegi change Gran Turismo 7? Or how could it add to Gran Turismo 7? Well, that's very simple. It's all down to the Super Speedway, as we have nothing like this in Gran Turismo 7. Yes, the main track could easily feature events, although these events would be the same events that we already have in the game, and those events just aren't doing it for us. I mean, for the full track, I would expect some kind of 30-minute race, or just an endurance race in general. I mean, you might be great at Motegi, but I could never get the hang of it. I always struggled at it. For me, it was definitely a difficult chase getting up to first. And with the track's design, so many straights and sharp corners, an endurance race with spaced out opponents instead of just being in a single file line wouldn't be a bad idea. But as I said, the Super Speedway is where the real interest lies. Special Stage Route X is too long and boring, Northern Isle is too short and repetitive, Blue Moon isn't round enough, and Daytona is closer, but the computer players just don't overtake or fully accelerate. So none of these tracks fit the Super Speedway we are missing from Gran Turismo 7. And not only that, Super Speedway has plenty of event potential. First off, they could bring back Like the Wind. Like the Wind was an event series that lasted from Gran Turismo 3 to Gran Turismo 6. In Gran Turismo 3 it was 20 laps of test course. In Gran Turismo 4 it was shortened to 5. The opponents were more even, so it was still challenging, even if it was less laps. On Gran Turismo 5 it was 5 laps of the Indy Ring, and then 5 laps of the full track of Daytona, which has you brake a lot. Not so much Like the Wind there. In Gran Turismo 6 it was again 5 laps of Indy, but also with 1 lap of Special Stage Route 7 and X, which the latter they already have in Gran Turismo 7, so they could add a Like the Wind event there, and also along with Daytona. So there, a new event category that allows you to power through at full speed, with the AI probably not overtaking as usual. So that's definitely something that should be tuned and fixed if such an event was going to be added. Although they do sometimes overtake with flag rules off, but I'm pretty sure flag rules are always on for the World Circuit modes anyway, so by that logic I guess they probably still won't overtake, even though the course is wide enough and there's plenty of room. And then I guess as well with PP points, you could just probably use a Tomahawk X and just blast through and win easy, so I guess that's also going to be something they'd have to tune as well, because the PP point system is just broken as the game itself. Now Super Speedway was never used for Like the Wind, though in Gran Turismo 2 it was used in the Gran Turismo All-Stars tournament, which was filled with the fastest race cars in the game, so it did feel like a like-the-wind predecessor. But one event Super Speedway was used for was the Super Speedway 150 miles event in Gran Turismo's 3 and 4. This was a 100-lap event of Super Speedway. In Gran Turismo 3, it wasn't that hard to win as the opponents were pretty easy. But in Gran Turismo 4, when I did it, 80 laps in and I was still sitting in second. That's because in Gran Turismo 3 you were up against tune cars and could use any car you wanted. So you could use the Mazda 787B and easily win and lap your opponents probably 20 times in the race, or more. Whereas Gran Turismo 4 had you race against LMP cars, which were much more even to what you could use. Endurance races are something we are always crying out for. And while it may be a boring idea just going round in an oval, we have nothing like this in Gran Turismo 7. It's different. Even Daytona doesn't make use of the oval. And of course, neither does Special Stage Route X. But for me, my favourite event of Super Speedway was the Gran Turismo 4 Gran Turismo World Championship, as the computer-controlled cars would regularly spin out and completely miss the pit lane. It was just fun and chaotic, and Gran Turismo 7 is just boring now. There's no chaos like that. Plus, in Gran Turismo 4, the wheel spin as you were starting and leaving the pit lane was just mad. It really got me excited for the race as it began. And I know, excited over a rolling start, Gran Turismo 7 could never. But maybe it could if it was just given a bit more love and attention, and committed to following its predecessors instead of just following sports. So, that's really all I've got to say. Super Speedway was a track I raced on loads as a kid in both Gran Turismo 3 and Gran Turismo 4. And Motegi's road course below would be a great addition to Gran Turismo 7. Would you like to see it added to Gran Turismo 7? Or would you rather have a different track? No, tracks. Let's make it plural. Let me know down below. This is just a different kind of video, talking my thoughts out with very little research, something new. Hope you liked the video. So thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe below, and I'll see you next time.